Robin S., the legendary house track. It has been played and it will be played in all of the house sets in all around the world on the upcoming years too, actually. And lately in the dance music blogs and in dance music Facebook videos, if you see that Carl Cox just performed with Robin S. herself with the song in a location, you should see that. It's a brand new video and it's actually pretty good. You're listening to Amulet Tuesdays on Dash Radio. Turn up the volume once again because we are about to welcome our guest. He's been in the LA scene for actually a long time. He's been in the sound residency. He's doing this for 4 years. We're going to talk about all of them, and he is the founder of Temple Tuesdays. So, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for, one more time, Ray Kash. Ray.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Welcome to our studio one more time, man. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start with actually the basic questions. We know that you're a DJ. You're a really good DJ. You already proved yourself in the festival stages, in front of thousands of people, in small venues, big venues. But how did you start your DJing career? Because you're from New York, not from LA.
Correct. When I grew up in New York, all of my friends were DJs. I had a lot of DJ friends.
Wow.
They actually started, we used to sneak into clubs with my brother's IDs. I have two older brothers. A lot of the inspiration actually started in Pasha, New York. And their residents were Danny Tenaglia, Jonathan Peters, Boris, Victor Calderon, Roger Sanchez. So those were the guys, like, they shaped my taste. I fell in love from.
And you saw those guys?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
It was funny because I opened actually for Boris at Sound, and I had that talk with him. I'm like, you're part of a reason I'm here. So it's super special when you like somebody who's shaped your taste. You get to open for them or be on the same stage with them. Wow. But anyways, yeah, I started in New York. Kind of played around with always my friends' equipment. The reason everybody told me to get into it is funny. Since I was young, one of my quote unquote gifts were like I would listen to like my brother's friends, like, or my friends, anybody's like iPod or like Walkman, whatever they had. I listened to their taste, and based on like gathering information about like 10 songs they like, I would make another CD or mixtape for them that this is songs that they may haven't heard, but I think they're gonna like. So it was something, it's kind of, at the end of the day, that's what DJing is, you know?
It's curating. You're the selector.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you like to mention, but what year was that you were doing this?
This was in 2006, 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope, man.
Then I started kind of playing around with our friends' equipment, and I just didn't have the money at the time to buy anything. So I was just always going to their house, playing around. It was around December of 2010, I think. It's just like I needed a change of scenery. Moved to California. I mean, I love New York, but the weather was something that I couldn't get behind anymore. Just waking up 5 a.m, shoveling a car out of snow was getting tiring. And
how uncomfortable it is to be that cold in the morning.
Terrible.
It sucks.
I do not miss it for a second, you know.
Especially in this time of the year, it's gonna get worse and worse.
I always send in the winter. I always send pictures back home, like wearing a T-shirt, and they always hate me.
Did you know shoveling snow is the leading cause of heart attacks?
Makes sense.
It really is.
I escaped it too quick then.
Right, you came out just in time.
Exactly, and they kind of started here. It was like really challenging for me in the beginning, you know. I was trying to get gigs. I was so excited, and it's funny. The first 3 gigs I got has nothing to do with my career at first. Right now, it was Playhouse Hollywood, Colony before they closed down, and True Hollywood before they turned to Argyle. So I used to play. It was like kind of, they had like a house music room, but the house music they wanted, it was a borderline between tech house and EDM.
So for the ones who don't know Argyle, it's a club in the Hollywood, and they mainly do hip hop shows. Like, they are bringing those hip hop artists and everything. And I think they have a room downstairs.
Yeah,
right?
they used to. Actually, it was the opposite. That was when EDM blew up, kind of around 2010. Their main room actually was electronic and EDM, and the downstairs was hip hop. And it's so funny how kind of that changed. But back then, yeah, it was called True Hollywood. So it was one of my friends who's actually like very successful nowadays on the trap side now. His name is Godfather, and he had a partner. His name is Victor. He's the one who kind of brought me in. He's like, I like your sound. The owner of the Playhouse kind of was there, likes your sound. So I was always in and out. They gave me a residency. But at the end of the day, I never loved the sound I was playing. I mean, I was happy I was getting gigs, but it was a lot of EDM fusions. I mean, even back then, to be fair enough, I know we hate on EDM a lot these days. 2010, I think it was a great year for EDM. Between 2009 to 11, there was a lot of diversity. The problem now is just it sounds like it's the same loop, same sound, maybe same good producers for everybody. but the sound has definitely like changed. You know, like back then it wasn't embarrassing to say you listen to EDM. It was a cool thing actually.
So just to make it clear, where is EDM right now for you?
I'm trying to say, like, how do I say it nicely? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I think as you get older, your taste grows with you too, and you know, like, your taste matures. I don't have anything against it. I don't like to talk negative about artists or any certain music. At the end of the day, my biggest thing that I always try to advertise is music is subjective. You know, like what I like and what you like is totally different, and it should be that way. You know, if it wasn't like that, we all would be just bunch of jukebox playing the same exact music, same exact sound. So something that an 18-year-old listens to is okay. That's their gateway to get something more. And we were there. There was times I guarantee every single one of you guys were at the rave. Maybe like at the trance stage, maybe at Tiesto. Like, come on, like everybody listened to Tiesto at some point.
We were all ravers in trance.
That's when it starts. I mean, you graduate.
Paul Van Dyke, remember Paul Van Dyke back in the day?
Exactly. Yeah, you know, I don't hate it. It's not for me now. Where I'm at, I don't. It doesn't please me musically.
I like to call it big room versus EDM because to me EDM is a blanket term for electronic dance music and it could mean anything.
That's correct.
It's actually an American thing,
right? Yeah. But big room is what we're talking about. The overproduced, large wub, 4 on the floor. You know, maybe Don Diablo, maybe Zed, maybe
exactly.
You know,
yeah.
So that's the thing.
So
but you were a teenager once. You liked that. So I think around that time you were a lot younger, and that was why that was a sweet spot for you.
Exactly.
But you got to remember, there was also people that were 10 years older than you at that point who were like, "This shit sucks."
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they wanted.
That's what I'm saying. It comes with an age. I think as you get older, your taste matures.
Right.
When you're younger, you have more energy. So you can bounce around.
I think so.
All night long.
I think so.
You can kind of mellow out with the
want
house
that heavy BPM.
BPM goes lower as you get older,
and you get frustrated if the kick is too soft. You're like,
waiting for a drop for a day. That's never coming.
It's probably your brain also works differently. Like, you know, I remember listening Solomon in 2010, 2009 or something. What was the track? I don't know, but it might be around, like, you know, who. He released a track that actually made him Solomon.
Yeah.
And at this time, I was listening Dimitri Vegas and Like Mike. So in the festivals and everything. So I was like, what the fuck is Solomon? I don't want to listen to this shit anymore.
Exactly. It's just a rite of passage, I guess that's what you say. But yeah, like when I moved here, it wasn't as big. I think LA scene was very as I was telling you guys earlier, I think the best word I can describe it was culty. It felt like a cult for me. It's like if you're not part of this subgroup, they wouldn't let you in. They weren't welcoming. Like, I'm an outsider, I'm a New Yorker, or like you listen to those guys. You know, like, it was just nobody like worked together. And the underground was genuinely underground. Like, it was so hard for me to find the two parties that I loved when I moved to LA, that I found the sound that it was me, like it reminded me of New York. Was Fridays at Avalon After Hours with Steve Pryor, good friend of mine. He's been doing that party for 15 years. It's called Frenzy. Yes, the guy is like super talented DJ. He's all around. He was one of the only sound in LA for me that was like, okay, this is underground. This sounds like Pasha. This sounds like Boris. This sounds like that. And then the other party was with Freddie B. Monday Social was going on for, I think it's the longest party
like
in the world or in America. It's 23 years, 22 years.
Wow.
Non-stop. And when I moved here, they were still doing it at the Playhouse. Yeah. So
we were going to the same party.
Sound. Yeah, exactly. It's like exactly. And so eventually, like, I've kind of like come around, like went to parties, went to the events that I was expressing myself more. And the first residency I got in LA, I was blessed thanks to Kobe and Mark and the team and Artie. It was at Sound, and I was opening for Hush. I never forget, I was super nervous because I wanted to make an impression, and it was like, finally I get a stage to be myself. And Kobe after the set came and pat me in the back. I guess the ones who know him, he's not the type who like gives everybody compliments. So everybody told me like, yo, if you made it to with him, you're good. You know, he likes you. And then from there, he kind of like, they really show me love. Like, I opened for Marco Corolla there. I was like, the first
Marco Corolla?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
First year, I think I played like 16 times that sound, 15 times.
In that year?
In that year, yeah. Wow. So I was playing a lot.
You being from New York, did you know that promoter that they was friends with this people of sound that died?
Yes, Rob.
Did you know him in New York?
Yeah, we had a lot of mutual friends. Yeah, the reason it's actually rest in peace. Like Rob was a very influential person. You know, one of the things I'm glad you brought that up. New York had a lot of, I think still do, a lot of good promoters. Their job was solely promotion. You know, it wasn't left on a DJ. The DJ provides the music at that time. You can't play the music. The promoter brought the party. But I think the industry is changing so much, which is kind of unfair. It's like they expect everything from the DJ, the graphic design, the promotion. Like you can't be the best DJ if you're not bringing the party. They're not gonna book you.
The thing that I hate about LA, actually, I'm really sick of sick of hearing this thing. I'm still trying to build up a career in LA. I have to say that.
Yeah.
I'm really sick of this thing. If you bring 25 people, you're gonna be playing at
It's so
11
sad.
to
It's honestly
11 to
sad,
midnight.
yeah.
What the fuck is that? It's your job. If
Yeah.
you're making the party, you have to bring the people.
I think the part that's funny is a lot of promoters became DJs, so there's no promoters left.
Yeah, probably.
And a lot of the promoters don't want to do promotion anymore.
Yeah.
It's dirty work. You're
Yeah.
on the streets.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
putting out
exactly.
flyers. You're
Yeah.
I mean,
long
it's social
hours.
marketing these
Yeah.
days. A lot of them they just do it online.
Yeah.
But Rob, the reason he's he got so much love and a lot of people were sad. Like he literally, a lot of DJs, he was the first person who brought him to New York. You know, and Kobe being a New Yorker, and a lot of his sound team, general manager Artie, they all from New York, so they had a close connection with him. So it was a really sad loss for New York. The party they had was at Pasha before they closed down. It was called House of Rob. Every big DJ was there, from Nicole to everybody, and then they all did a fundraiser for his family, and nobody charged any fees.
Wow.
So
That's
Actually,
amazing.
yeah.
If you go to Sound right now in the patio, there is a huge mural of Rob, and it says House of Rob.
Right.
Rest in peace again. So you also mentioned about the residencies. It might be a keyword for LA LA DJ's career.
Correct.
But after residencies, I saw that some of the DJs, including you, started to throw their own parties. Right now, you're doing Temple Tuesdays at Pattern Bar, which is actually owned by an amazing person, an amazing DJ. I don't know if he still owns
He's
the
not.
place,
He's
but
not. Yeah, he started it.
Okay. But Temple Tuesdays are going strong. I played there before. Hopefully, in the upcoming weeks and months, you're going to see a lot of good events in there also. And tonight, there is also a Temple Tuesdays. We're going to talk about it, but what's all about it?
So Temple, the reason I started that party is I wanted to obviously do something that's different. Everybody, at the end of the day, we all artists. You want to have your own voice, your own image, your own vibes, So Temple for me was I looked around and I saw something missing in the LA scene, and that was there was not a lot of love for the industry, for the locals, as you said. It was a time that when that bubble kind of burst, everybody was so focused on bringing headliners. It was a competition: who brings Solomon, who brings Adam Bayer, who brings this. There was a lot of good local artists who weren't getting love in LA. So I figured, and out of a respect I had for everybody I had and I have a really good relationship with everybody who's doing parties in LA. Thank God. And at the time, I was like, what day can I pick that is not stepping on anybody else's toes? So Monday was Monday social, Wednesdays was a clinic, Thursdays was party, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Tuesday was the only day nobody wanted to touch. And it was a kind of a forbidden day. And I remember when I started, everybody made fun of it. It was like, oh, you're not gonna be able to do anything with it. Nobody's gonna come out on Tuesday. This and that and all the noise. And I always use this in every interview I get, respect to my boy Gia from 6 a.m. group. He gave me an advice, and he used to be neighbors. He's like, this industry is a marathon, not a sprint. And that always stick with me, the people who's doing it for a purpose and not focus on a destination, but more on the journey. And I didn't have any expectations from it when I started. It was never about money. It wasn't I needed to get so big, travel the world. It was just I want to do an industry night for local artists. That's all I can do. That's all I want to do, and we need it.
So it's most of an intimate gathering for both DJs, and I know that the people who are also showing up at that night are also DJs.
It's literally that's what it is. Especially at this point, it's so funny how many my one of our friends, she made a joke the other day. She's like, there's more DJs here than people. That's kind of hurtful. I guess we're not people.
We're a species. We're finally a species.
Yeah, but there's a mixture of that was the whole purpose. Actually, I'm so happy that it turned out that way. There was a place that all the locals can come meet each other and network. I'm doing a party, I'm doing this thing. What do you do? I'm doing this. Let's network together. Let's work together. So I started in Hollywood at behind Pig and Whistle. It was a venue called Confession where they do Sunday Sanctuary there now.
Yeah.
So at first it was the first 2 years it was obviously a challenge. There was some weeks. It's weekly. It's every time I talk about this, I give so much respect to Freddie for doing it for so many years. Weekly makes you age so much faster. It's so hard because there's no consistency. It's some weeks are super busy, some weeks are not. As I said, somebody with me is not in it for money. We don't charge cover charge. But it still is disappointing when you put so much energy and you have a right lineup, but you don't get the right amount of people. it's not. I feel bad for the DJs. Sometimes they're understanding, and I'm like, dude, I wish there was more
Yeah.
people. There's no way to really figure it out. There's no formula.
The thing is that if you're playing at a like empty room, the whole preparation that you have, even though you don't have a preparation, let's say like you don't make a preparation or something, but you have something in your mind. You feel before your set, you feel like oh my god, people gonna dance in front of me.
Right.
It's gonna be so fun or something.
Yeah.
Your mood turns into something else, and you don't play the songs that you plan to play.
100%. And so we moved it to downtown at Pattern Bar about a year ago. Yeah, and our first grand opening night was with Andre from Droog. Amazing, super talented guy, and it was like we hit capacity I think at 12 o'clock. It's not a big place, nothing to brag about, just saying that like people came out and support. It's 150, 200 capacity. And the vibes has been like, I have two main rules when I book artists is if you're a new artist, you got to be passionate. You got to do it for the love. And if you're a veteran, with us is like you do you, like one experiment that I learned with this process is if you give the artist 100% freedom of to be themselves, they always play their best sound.
Yeah.
When you put boundaries like, hey, play vocals, do this, do that tech house, the crowd doesn't get this, they buying bottles, they never themselves, like whenever I tell them play, every time they hit me up, they're like, what kind of vibes do you want? I'm like, dude, play whatever you can play anywhere else. This is the place. And as you said, the fact that everybody's a DJ or event producer or promoter, or the crowd is very mature and educated here, so they respond well to it. And that flow of like back and forth between the crowd and the DJ, it makes it a very special thing. I'm super happy with it. It created a lot of opportunities for so many local DJs in LA. There were so many of my friends, like Mary, you said you had her, like their first gig was ever at Temple, and it makes me really happy that these talented individuals, they start there, and to see them in a year or two grow and they become the artists that they are today.
I actually I was actually following the Temple Tuesdays Instagram account last year, which is the same year that I traveled and moved into LA, and I saw Mary Nix, and I was following her too before she started performing this much and everything, and I saw this black and white video of Temple Tuesdays. You guys are also sharing the same kind of style all the time.
The format is like 3 videos, 1 video from each artist and a flyer, very simple, just kind of give you an idea what they're playing. And
I sense that you are actually doing it for the scene, doing it for the local DJ, local act, and just bring in a couple people. It's almost like a New York bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Thing.
You know what's funny? It's like people always criticize me. They're like, how do you put your name on the flyer and you never playing? And I never play. I haven't played in Temple for probably 2 years. And the reason I made that decision was our set times are 3 set times. We do 9 to 11, 11 to 12:30, and 12:30 to 2. So it's a longer set time. So one of my pet peeves, I might get criticized for this a lot, is I don't like when people host a party and they make it about themselves. I always made the decision, this party is not about me, it's about the industry. So why should I play a gig when I can give them a longer set, And the first is usually the first time slot is for it's not as busy. So I can't play every week or give myself a prime time or just let the new DJs or the people who come in take advantage of that opportunities,
Wow, what a good approach.
And you're planning tonight, though.
My name is on it. I'm not playing.
Oh,
no, as I said, it's a trick.
Okay.
It's a bait to get you in there thinking I'm playing, but I'm not.
It says a resident DJ. We're going to talk about Temple Tuesdays in the upcoming minutes too, but before we go into our rapid fire questions for you, let's talk about another event that you were actually talking about. Is it going to be at Sound? Or
at Sound this year, yeah. So this is the 5th year we're doing a toy drive with Temple. I've always been I think it's just how I was brought up, but we always been about the community and helping others. Like my mom always when we were younger, we would go around and feed the homeless, and I always felt like I should be doing something that brings the community together. I mean, people are every week they're out, they're spending money on drinks or whatever they spend their money on. As why not use that once a year, twice a year for actual good cause? And this is our 5th annual toy drive. All the donation and all the toys goes to Children's Hospital of LA. The reason I like their program is they actually give the toys to the parents to give it to their kids. So it's not a strangers giving them the toys; it's coming from the families who need them. And
beautiful.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, last year or the past 2 years, we did 2 rooms and Pig and Whistle, and everybody who's involved is very strong names in LA underground scene, and they always donated their time, and they never question anything. As soon as I approach them, they always want to be part of it. So we're doing it on the December 13th at Sound. I talked to the people at Sound with Kobe, Megan, and everybody else, and they were on board. They were super happy to like help us with this project, open their doors for us. The party starts at 7 p.m. It's a 1 hour lineup. We have a special guest that we can't announce who it is, but our main headliners is Dance Spirit, super talented duo. Everybody knows them in LA and internationally. And then we have our lineup is like Enzo Muro, MD, who do the dialogue and Midnight Lover parties. And we have Mesmin. She's been killing it the past couple of years.
Yeah, she's really good.
She plays vinyl. She's a great DJ. Enzo Muro and the human resources when they do minimal left for a clinic. So it's all industry people who were part of it. And the whole goal is to just collect as many toys as we can for the kids in need.
Perfect. So how are we doing it? Are we buying the tickets, or we
So
come in
you actually
with a
come,
toy?
yeah, come to the door. You either bring a unwrapped toy that's worth $10, or if you can, just donate $10 and that goes to a children's hospital.
Interesting.
It's really good.
Yeah, I love toy drives. I've done a toy drive before, and we had like
okay.
a huge response, and it was amazing. And there was one toy I wanted to keep, but my friend wouldn't let me keep it. It was a Gwen Stefani doll. Like, I was like, oh my God, it's a Gwen Stefani doll. She looks, you know, and it was like, I'd never seen one before, and I was like, oh, I want to keep that as a collector's item.
Yeah.
I had a guy who brought 2 years ago. He brought 35 scooters. He brought $1,000 worth of toys. One guy.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It
Did you
was
talk with the guy?
Yeah.
How did he find you guys out? Like, you know, how did they find out?
Steve was on that lineup, Steve Pryor. So he said Steve posted it, and he was a friend of Steve.
Okay.
And he's like, I just want to like do my part. And we were all just like constantly coming back with more and more and more toys. I was like, dude, these are more like 35 scooters. That's a lot. When I showed up, there was like they literally had tears in their eyes. The people who were collecting the toys.
Oh, they were happy.
Yeah, super happy. Yeah.
They loved. That was a haul.
Yeah.
You guys are doing an amazing thing, and again, let's put this thing out. Last week was International Children's Day. It's a international day for only children's created by UNICEF, and don't forget that children are our future. So whatever you put on children, education, the moral, the beautiful thoughts and everything, it's gonna come up with a beautiful adult, a beautiful mature personality, and then the world is gonna turn into something much more beautiful, including DJs, including artists, including politicians, businessmen, and everything. So let's don't forget that, and let's protect our children. And thank you for Toy Drive.
Of course, man. It's as I said, it's a community effort, and I think hopefully I'm trying to promote more people to do these things. You know, like we are as a community, we all capable of it. You know, everybody who's a DJ, everybody can do their part. I think if we have the money on a weekly basis to go out, drink and party and pay cover charge, I think once a month, once a year, we can get together and do it for a cause, you know.
Perfect. So let's go and jump into our rapid fire questions for Ray Kash. We prepared. So on this part, Ray, you're gonna have 5 questions, and with a suspicious music, which is something like that.
Suspenseful.
Yeah.
All
right. And you have 5 questions, and you have like just like 2 seconds, 3 seconds to do this.
Oh
thing.
God,
Like,
no pressure.
Yeah, it's a pressure. You have 2 options, so it's gonna be either this or this. And right after you answer that, we are going into track source number 1 track of the week. It's Movements by Saison. They are on top for their 3rd week. All right, Ray, are you ready?
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1. Analog or digital?
Analog.
Sunset set at a rooftop in the city, or a sunrise set next to beach?
Sunrise set, beach.
American festivals or European festivals?
European festival.
Bass or percussion?
Bass.
Festival stage with thousands of people, or intimate club with hundreds?
Oh, that's a tough one. Intimate.
There you go. Yeah. Okay, these were your rapid fire questions, and then we're going into track source number 1 track of the week. Turn up the volume once again. You're listening to Amulet Tuesdays. Follow us on Instagram at Amulet Tuesdays.